Back in 1933, a powerful earthquake shook Long Beach, California. One of the buildings that suffered significant damage was Jefferson Junior High School, now known as Jefferson Leadership Academies. The earthquake caused parts of the school to collapse, leaving behind a history filled with stories and legends. Over the years, students and teachers have whispered about a mysterious presence in the school's basement and attic. Some say it's the spirit of a young girl from that era, her footsteps echoing softly in the halls, her laughter faintly heard when no one else is around.
Okay, hi, I'm Mr. Farron. I teach 8th grade U.S. history, and I've been teaching here. It's my 25th year, so I started here in 2000, so yeah, been here a long time.
Hello, so my name is Mrs. Johnson. This is my 13th year at Jefferson, 25th year teaching here in Long Beach Unified. And I first came to Jefferson in the fall of 2012.
Hey, what's up? It's Coach Eddie, and this is what I know about Susie, at least.
This is Mr. Tui, teach 7th grade, world history. This is the story of Susie.
In 1933, the earthquake hit, destroyed a lot of parts of Long Beach, and this girl was in the bathroom, the same bathroom we have downstairs, girls' bathroom, when the earthquake hit, and she unfortunately didn't make it out.
So, Susie, yes, if you remember, our building was destroyed in an earthquake, and the rumors are that she was trapped in the girls' restroom, and she died. She was the only person that died in the earthquake.
So I guess Susie was a young girl that was attending the school back in the day, early 1900s, and before the first big earthquake. Now, when the big earthquake happened, the school collapsed, and from what I've heard, Susie was in the restroom, and the building fell, and so that was kind of like, that was it.
How I started hearing about this was that there were some girls who would go to that bathroom, and they started seeing kind of mysterious stuff. And for example, I remember a girl saying that she was washing her hands and she saw something on the periphery, and she looked over and there was a girl there dressed like somebody in 1933 saying something like, "Can you help me out of here?" And she kind of freaked out and looked back, and then there was nothing there.
Can you get me out of here?
But there were some other reports. I remember there was a teacher who was working late one night, and he was up here on the upper, the upper part. It wasn't my room, but I think it was the room next door. And he was, it was like him and the custodian, the only two people in the building. And he was doing his work. He had his door open, and he saw something kind of go down the hall. And it almost looked like they were floating or something. And he thought maybe it's a custodian, but he didn't think it was. So he kind of got out of his seat and ran down, ran out to the hall. And then at the bottom of the hallway, he saw something going down, and he ran after it, and it was gone. And then, and then he saw the custodian later at a whole different part, and he knew it wasn't the custodian. And he's like, "What was that thing?"
The basement, not a lot of kids know that there's a basement, but there is a basement where we keep supplies, so we believe that is Susie's home. And when it gets disrupted because our custodian crew or someone from our staff goes down to pick up materials or supplies, then Susie kind of moves out of the way and may float around other areas of campus. So the restrooms, the cafeteria, the 7,000 hallway in particular, I don't know why. Maybe because she was about a 7th grader at the time, although her 8th grader. There's some people that have said they have definitely experienced kind of this supernatural activities, okay? But I also think there are people that don't want to be viewed as crazy, so they try to keep them to themselves. And as far as that earthquake at the time, it impacted the school in a way that the school was destroyed, right? It had to be rebuilt because it wasn't able to withstand that earthquake.
So in the hallway, in the evening, if you stay late, you can sometimes hear her say, "Help, help." And people have seen like different lights and shimmering in the girls' restroom area.
So I came here as a kid, in case you didn't know. So I attended here back in 2005, 2008, well 2006, 2008. So the stories I heard about Susie, you know, from my personal experience, I only had like maybe 2 things happen since I've been here. One time I was in my office above the gym. Now it's closed off, so nobody really goes up there. But I used to stay late, maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, the latest sometimes. And I was doing work on my computer, on my laptop, and across from me there's a closet with a mirror on it. So it's a scary closet too, don't get me wrong. It's pretty sketchy. But I was doing work, and next thing you know, like I'm just minding my own business, playing some music, you know, doing what I gotta do. And then you just hear I just see across the way, and it's like at night. No wind, no nothing. The door of the closet just like just opens up, and right away I'm like, all right, well, gotta go. And so I just hightail it out of there. Lights are off. Scary stairs though too. If you ever go up there, it just looks scary to begin with. And obviously it's like, all right, Susie, I'm good. I'm sorry. I apologize. So we automatically assume it's, you know, it's her. But second time, same thing. We were talking about a story about Susie, and same thing. Another closet door, a little cabinet just opens up. No wind. Doors are closed.
An encounter I had with Susie was, I was just walking to class, right? I'll go through the hall. All of a sudden, I'll start hearing screaming. Like how I scream, like I just hear like a loud girl scream. I got creeped out and ran to my classroom. And then I told the class about it, and they didn't believe me. And yeah.
Yeah, I still like to kind of bring it up because it's kind of weird, and a lot of middle school kids like to talk about weird stuff. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say if for sure our school's haunted or was haunted or not. I just do know though, for about a 3-4 year period, there was a lot of weird activity, and it wasn't all the time, but it was enough that it was kind of strange, and then it just sort of has kind of gone away. But I you know, it's hard to say if it's true or not, but I can just say it was, you know, kind of made everything kind of weird.
And the cool thing is we have this legend that goes along with the earthquake, and the legend of a student who went here who sacrificed her own life during the earthquake and now haunts these halls, which is cool for us as Jefferson students to kind of keep the legend going.
And so that is the story, and people have substantiated the stories, and that is the story of Susie.
Oh. That's as much as I know, but yeah, building collapsed back in the 30s. Susie was trapped underneath and been trapped ever since.
While these tales have become part of the school's folklore, they add a layer of mystery and intrigue to our understanding of the past. Whether these stories are true or simply products of imagination, they remind us of the rich history embedded within the walls of Jefferson Leadership Academies. So the next time you pass by the basement, attic, or even in the bathroom, listen closely. You might just hear a whisper from history,